focus okay? That's a little bit better. Okay. As long as that looks okay, we will crack on, I think. Today we will need a piece of paper. This piece of paper is like watercolour paper. It's just a smaller piece of paper that I'm using. And then I've got my pencils and a rubber and a pencil sharpener as normal. So this is what we're going to be doing today, and it is Pikachu. And we're just going to be colouring in with pencil crayon. And just to make everyone aware who hasn't seen any of my posts, this art hour will be switching to Monday. So from next Monday, it will be on Monday at 4, only because of work commitments now, because we aren't able to open a babysit centre when we wanted to. I've had to do a little bit of switcheroo with my personal work hours. So our art hour will be on a Monday instead. Hopefully you'll be able to join me then, but I will send over invites and whatnot so you'll be able to see it. So this is our guy, this is our dude, this is who we are drawing today, and it is Pikachu. So let's bob him there. So the first thing we're going to do, now ordinarily we do circles, don't we? That's what we normally do. Well, today it's going to be slightly different because I'm going to be drawing one of my good friends, Katie. Calls them beans. So this is our first bit of drawing in. It's more of a bean shape. So we have a rounded top going down. If I get my little ruler, let me get my ruler. That'll do. So my little friend will be, that's 9.5 centimetres down. And then we are about just under 6 centimetres wide. So that's the kind of proportion that we're after. And that will give us the rough idea of where bits of Pikachu go. So that's our first piece. And then we are subdividing Pikachu, our bean. So first of all, we're going to get a line top to bottom. Put them in half. Okay, and once we've done a half, I'm going to do half this way. Now let's check that. So we can use our pencil. We can hold our pencil, the bottom line there, and then we pop it, our fingers on that little line there, and we can see that the pencil is round about the top, so we know that's halfway. So when you see artists holding their feet, holding pencils out and doing this, it's because they're measuring by eye, and it just helps with proportion. So we've got our cross and our cross. And as we have done that, we are then to bob a line across there. I think that's a little more than, a touch more, not quite halfway from there to there. So next we are going to be taking a line from this middle line and taking that across there. And then just above this line, we're going to give it another line out there. And then underneath there, kind of draw a little box. And make this into another little box. Okie doke. So then we are going to start putting ear shapes in. So I'm going to have one ear shape there. And you're taking it in just slightly underneath the line. And then here we're starting just inside that line. That's our shape outwards. There are two ear shapes. And then once we've done those, we're going to start with head proper. So it's nearly, Pikachu's head is near enough. The shape of the bean. And then on this side, kind of following this line round. So we come into that line and come out and go in. So that's our shape. That's kind of shape. And again, we're going to echo that the other side. So we're coming out and we're going round and back in here. Okay, so we're just a little bit in on those lines, and then to get his body, we're basically following the same lines around. So we're from there. He is kind of a bean shape anyway, isn't he? Let's face it. I'll come in slightly on each of those. There's our Pikachu shape. And then at the bottom, you kind of come up and he has that type of shape. And then we put a heel and a heel, and there would be his little feet. There we go. Like little hamster's feet, are they? I think something like that. So those little feet. That's too short. Let's get that a bit bigger. Just finish. Now he's done his feet, we can give him a little nose. So his nose, as with most of the things that we've done recently, his nose is right in the centre in that cross section of our guidelines. So there's his little nose there. It's a little triangle, a little pudgy triangle. And then his mouth is kind of a flat W. Like a teddy bear's mouth, I would think. Really, if we think about it. And there's his little mouth. And then Pikachu cheeks. Pikachu cheeks are round. And they kind of sit just under that guideline and just inside kind of there. There are Pikachu cheeks. So then eyes. Now eyes are pretty much the same size as the cheeks, and they're just slightly underneath that guideline. And then we have a little shine on each one. And I guess his other eye, or whether I line these up, is another question entirely. Let's try freehand. And then let's try and get the shine lined up. He's looking more like Pikachu now. So let's get, he has, on the end of each ear, he has a tip of black. We're not going to do it in black because we're doing it slightly soft today. So we're going to do it in brown, but we need two little lines. So we've got one line there and one line there. We could do with getting his little hands in, couldn't we? So we kind of rough out little lines here. Right. So we're giving ourselves two lines as guidelines, as mirror images of each other, and then soft curves around each side. Let's just make that a tiny bit bigger. Better. If I'm going to move him because he isn't in the right place. That's better. And then we have little fingers. Just little ziggy-zaggy lines. They're not, just make sure you get how many fingers has he got. 5 in each hand. He's not a Disney character, so he has 5 in each hand. And then we can get his tail. So we are going to give ourselves a diagonal line here, and then a diagonal line here, and then it's kind of joining up that way. About there, and then we're going to use our guidelines so we know. So we're coming out here, up to there, up to here. So there we are, using our guideline. Little ziggy sack there, don't know what that's for. No idea. Someone can tell me, I'm sure. Someone can tell me. Maybe it's tiny, a little bit exaggerated. So then we've got a little tail. That is pretty much Pikachu. So we'll rub out our guidelines. When we rub out our guidelines, we tend to see where we've gone askew. So let's rub out our guidelines and see if there's anywhere we need to adjust our drawing. It's only a little drawing, so there shouldn't be too many adjustments. So there we have guidelines away. So now we are going to start colouring him, and as you know, my base colour I always use is yellow, and Pikachu's yellow, so we'll be using yellow. So I've got those lines back in, so those lines out. So if you want to grab your yellow pencil, you can start to block in. Now we're going to use a gentle pressure to start with, as normal. Light yellow, very gentle pressure all over. Gentle pressure with the yellow all over. Apart from his eyes, keep his eyes. This page is so dirty, honestly. Gentle pressure with the yellow all over, obviously missing his eyes. Colour everything else. Just a very, very gentle pressure all over with the yellow. In fact, you probably barely see that. Oh, a little bit harder so you guys can see that. So then we need to go in with a slightly harder pressure. So we're going to do darker pressure here, just where his ears will go. Nice. And then we taper that to harder pressure and then lift off your pencil to give yourself a gentle pressure as you go to the tip of his ear. So harder pressure here and then lift off your pencil. You think if you do that there and you think hard, push with your pencil hard and then lift, 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 lift. It's giving you a lot of different colours within your pencil. So then again here, harder pressure. And then lift your pencil. Then again with his tail, so harder pressure here. Try not to rock the table. Here. And then along this line here. And then we go around his eyes here slightly. Slightly more pressure. And here. And then under his cheek. To where his neck would be. Well, he hasn't got one, but where his neck would be. Again, this side. you think it is? We look, the light's coming that way. That's the way the light's going. So underneath his neck there, and then if the light's hitting his arms, it's going to be underneath his arms. And then obviously his tummy is hanging over his feet. He's only got little feet, so Pikachu had a lockdown belly before it was invented. Let's get his feet darkened. I am having focusing problems. Let's see if we can get you a little bit closer. It's better. Slightly over his eye. Slightly over his eye. Slightly here. Just a little bit, not a heavy pressure, but just so an indication of tummy and fluff. I don't even know, is it Pikachu fluffy? You tell me. So once we've done that bit, we're going to go on to his cheeks. So I'm going to be using pink. Let's get the camera. So we're colouring all of his cheek pink to start with. And then we are going to a reddy pink and then a red, but it's okay if you've only got a red. So with a reddy pink or red, just don't push down too hard. We're going to just this area. And then again this side. And I'm going to go in with a red. There's my red. It says deep vermilion. And just a little line on each side. There's his cheeks. So then we're going to be using our brown. We're using our brown instead of our black. We will use a black, but his nose, we're going to use, now we're going to leave a tiny bit of white on his nose. Is it easier if I bring it up? Yep, there we go. And it's just not focusing as it's rubbish, this camera today. So we're leaving a tiny little bit of white. And then we are getting to his mouth. A little heavy dot on each end. And then there we go. Is it the light? A bit better. So then we will go in eyes. So we use our brown and making sure we do not touch that little circle inside. We're not touching that circle at all. We're going to go all brown, but not in that circle. Very light pressure. And like we did with the cheeks, slightly harder pressure. Thinking about where our light is. Slightly darker pressure around the bottom. Let's just draw around your little white circle slightly. And then over this side, exactly the same principle. So very light pressure. Harder pressure around there. And then harder pressure. Just not. Is that better? Okay. So then we're going to do the same with the ears. I'm remembering the light's coming this way, so this part of his ear, the brown part, or the black, it would be black, we're not using as much black. So that is going to be the harder pressure there. Then less pressure. And this one, the light's going to be hitting the top, so a little bit more pressure here, and lighter going up. So as we've done that with the brown, they're going to go in then with the black. And then first of all his nose, so just a touch. Into there. And then just a touch on his mouth. And then on his eyes, like we did with the red here. Okay. Just a little bit. And then we're going to do the same over here on there. And then here. So as we've done, he's looking quite cute. So then, orange. Here's my orange. We're going to go in with orange to all the points, like we did with our black on our brown. We're going to use our orange just to give it a tiny bit more colour. And again here. On ears. And then just a little bit round eyes. The cheeks, everywhere where we put that heavy pressure with our yellow. Sorry about the aeroplane noise. We do live on a flight path. We've been getting quite used to it, being quiet with lockdown. All of a sudden, we've noticed planes again. So that is Pikachu nearly done. Let's just go a little bit more yellow. He looks slightly insipid, doesn't he? Just give him a little bit more yellow. There we go. So there we have our little Pikachu. He looks quite cuddly. I don't know how cuddly Pikachus are. I'm sure he's very cuddly when he wants to be. There we go. Next week, I think we're going to be doing Cuphead and Mugman, because I know a lot of the little ones at the studio loved Cuphead and Mugman. So next week we shall be doing him. If you have enjoyed this, you follow me next week. I will be back on at 4 o'clock on Monday. Don't forget, it will be Monday instead. But thank you for following along, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks. Bye.